Welcome to another big boat making its debut at the Cannes Yachting Festival. Behind me here is the brand new Ferretti 860 flybridge. It is literally fresh out of the factory and looking absolutely stunning. It towers above my head. You can see it as we walk along the length, get some idea of the scale of it. Huge hull windows all along the lower deck, these big cutaway bulwarks. You can see there's some opening side doors from the saloon. There's a gate there so you can access the water, or a pontoon from the side deck if it's high enough. And then we come round to the stern and you get a better idea of the scale of this thing. So the passerelle is already out. The bathing platform is in the raised position. You can see there is a ladder inset into that, and that will obviously drop down under hydraulics. Let's have a quick look at the stats while we're here. So we can see there are two engine options, both MAN. You can have both V12, but either 1800 or 2000 horsepower, giving a maximum speed of up to 32 knots with the bigger engines, and a range of around about 290 nautical miles at a cruising speed of 20 knots or so. Or about 310 nautical miles if you go for the slightly smaller 1800s. So it's 88 foot 5 inches long and 20 foot 5 inches wide. It weighs around 72 tons light, so before it's laden with fuel and water. Let's jump on board and take a closer look. It's a really big aft cockpit, and I mean really big. You know, quite often these are usually arranged the other way around so that the seats are facing into the boat. This way they're both facing over the side, and you get this huge square-shaped table with director's chairs at this end, seats either side, and that lovely glass transom so you can look out over the stern. Unusually big space given over to outside deck area in this boat, but I think that's the way the market is going. People want more outside space and less inside space, which, nice as it looks, isn't often used, those big formal saloon areas. Let's take a quick spin of the decks while we're here. Now you can see these rather nice glass supports, and the flybridge overhang gives shelter all the way along these side decks, so it's very easy. They're nice and wide. I can easily walk along here, and really tall. These are above waist height. There's one of the gates I talked about, and you can see that these are actually open so they don't spoil the view. There's just a supporting bar there so they feel safe, but you still get the view through them. A couple of steps up onto the deck, or the bow area, and here you can see another big socialising space here. I rather like the way they've split this huge seat here with this teak armrest in between and a couple of cup holders. I suspect these are probably pop-up. Oh no, I think those are the stanchion supports, so that you can have a big parasol type arrangement, sunshade, to give this area some shade when you need it. But rather nice, stylish, low-level coffee table on stainless steel supports there, and these sort of semi-recliner lounges, and then all the deck gear right further forward. Twin anchors, twin cleats, big fair leads, very well set up, and there's storage lockers under here. I think they're locked at the moment so I can't get to them, but let's carry on round the deck. You can see this huge flybridge up here. We'll take a look at that in a minute, and then every now and then little places to tie on fenders where you need them. But they are complete walk around side decks. There's no full beam saloon here, but it makes it very, very easy to move around. And that is access to the engine room, which again, sadly, is locked during the show. I think that's because the crew are on board and they want to keep visitors out. So we're going to have to duck and dive a little bit to make our way through the boat and try and find spaces where we can. So you can see there is a small wet bar area here. There's a massive flower and coral arrangement here, so we can't really see that at the moment. But let's have a look inside the boat and see what we can get to. So as you enter on the port side, there's some storage behind here. It's just general storage, and it's marked with fire extinguishers in there. But big open saloon area. You see this very low-level furniture with minimalist legs. Just means, again, they're not big blocky pieces of furniture. They try to keep it as open as possible, make the most of those floor-to-ceiling windows on either side. Discreet little coffee table, all freestanding, so you can move it around if you want a slightly different arrangement or layout. Absolutely massive TV on the floor. It's not a high-low system. That is just a huge. That's one of the biggest TVs I think I've ever seen on a boat this size. And very lovely leather stitching. You can see the storage for all the plates and cups and everything you need in there, beautifully stored away. And then as you come forward, all open plan, there is a dining space over on the starboard side, nice square table, very sociable, and then opening doors out onto those side decks. Big marble feature panel surrounding the table adds a bit of style. Now moving further forward, you can see there's a big wine fridge on the port side. I think we might just have to pause briefly, it's getting a little bit busy. So we can probably make our way forward now. You can see on the starboard side is the galley, so this is going to be largely a crew area, but again very well equipped, huge Siemens hob for heating up the pans, big wide oven, that's a double width oven there. Relatively small sink actually on this side, and access out onto these side decks again so crew can come and go very discreetly. Big full height fridge freezer there and lots more storage under here. But cleverly they've put pocket doors all the way along here, so you see there's one pocket door in here that slides out, so if you want to shut the space off you can pull that out and shut it off, and again another one before you get to the bridge deck. And in between the two is a really nice day heads. So again, very discreet. You can shut it off, you can leave it open. So we just come forward into the helm area. You can see very business-like helm station, 3 massive Simrad touchscreen MFDs, access to all the boat systems, access to cameras, you can keep an eye on everything, full navigation, and then this lovely arrangement here where you can see everything laid out on the panel with little lights. If there's anything you want to check off, if an alarm goes off, you can immediately see which light has come on. Very traditional Ferretti vertical wheel, twin throttles, twin thrusters, hump-free trim tabs, access to all of that. Now down here, I can't actually show you what's down here, but there is a small crew area. Actually, I say it's small, it's not really that small, but understandably they want to keep it private. The crew is staying on board during the show, but you can see there is a twin ensuite cabin there, or sorry, bunk ensuite cabin there, and a bunk ensuite there. And what's important to note is that this is right forward in the bow area, and that affects how the rest of the guest accommodation works later. There's also a washing machine and a dryer in there, but I'll show you why that matters in a minute. If we come back up through the boat, and let's see if we can drop down into the guest accommodation. So lovely curved staircase dropping down into the heart of the yacht. And let's go towards the stern first of all, where you'll find the master cabin. And again, this is an absolutely fabulous space. Now, I don't know how much of this detail you can see, but the beautiful curved stainless steel work in the bedhead. You can see all the switches actually built in to that stainless steel and wood bedhead, so you can control everything, just roll over, stab the buttons. Rather beautiful lights that look a bit like candles, and masses and masses of space. It is a really big double bed there, quite low level, just below knee height. Now this huge mirrored area here, obviously the mirror helps bounce the light around and gives you a feeling of space, but there's also a big TV set into that, so when you turn the TV on, this huge central panel lights up and that becomes a television. Lovely desk area over on the starboard side. Got a big book there, but you can see that also lifts up and becomes a vanity unit if you want to do your makeup there. It's a lovely little stool. Again, beautiful stitched leather bedside tables, lots of lovely detailing, and a walk-in wardrobe on this side, again with one of those pocket doors that slides across. But walk-in wardrobe, beautifully done. Again, sliding panels if you want to keep it all tucked away. More storage underneath. And of course, on this side is ensuite bathroom. Again, another sliding pocket door there. You can pull it out, all mirrored in this case. And very smart ensuite bathroom. Rather like this kind of coffee coloured marble effect on the floor and the sinks. Twin sinks, mirrors behind them, big walk-in shower. Rain effect shower overhead, pull out shower, same marble everywhere you go. It sounds very quiet and hushed down here. I don't know if the generators are running, probably not, but... And then this rather nice toilet and bidet over on the port side, because we're facing the stern now, but behind its own little glass panel. Not quite sure why they've kept that see-through. You'd think that they might actually make that a bit more opaque, but nice to have it in a separate compartment anyway. Little sofa over on this side, and behind here, I think you have to open this door a little bit to access it, but there is another big storage cupboard, wardrobe, whatever you want to call it, over there. Now as we make our way forward, you'll start to get an idea of why this is rather different. So on the starboard side, there is a good sized double cabin. Underlit on the bed, gives a rather nice effect. It seems to sort of glow and float just above the floor. Again, that lovely curved stainless steel bed head with the switches built into it. More sort of smoked mirror effect on the starboard side. And then if I spin around here, you can see, again, they've made a real feature out of this television. They've put this very thick stainless steel frame around it, given it curved beveled edges. Just adds an extra layer of detail. Again, it looks like a mirror when it's not being used, but is of course a television when you turn it on. And then further forward, its own ensuite bathroom. This time they've gone for the lighter kind of cream marble, but heavy veining in it. Looks very smart. Big shower again. And remember, this is just one of several guest cabins. So we've seen the big owner's cabin back there. We've got one double to starboard, then to port. There is another. This time it's set up as a twin, but similar kind of layout. Big hull windows behind that blind, and another ensuite bathroom. And then forward, this is where things get really interesting, because the crew cabin is right forward in the sort of pointy part of the bow. They've managed to get a really good sized VIP that is actually across the beam of the boat. So this bed is facing across the beam. It's got that lovely big hull window behind the bed. Very nice little vanity unit, desk area here. Big wardrobe, lights up when you open the door. Again, that same smoked mirror effect panelling and that big featured television. And its own ensuite bathroom on the port side with a full toilet and bidet, and actually a relatively small, oh no, the cubicle does go a little bit beyond. I thought it was just that narrow bit, but you can see there is a bit more space tucked behind the bulkhead there. But I think that's a really unusual and interesting layout, having a VIP that is facing across the beam of the boat rather than a central island berth where it tends to get rather tall and narrow either side. It means you've got foot space all the way around the bed. Really unusual, nice setup. So let's go back up the staircase to the saloon area. And now you can get a feel for that space looking aft. There's that dining table again, with the doors behind it that open onto the side deck, and this lovely open plan space facing out into that elongated cockpit. And let's see if we can now go upstairs and have a look at the flybridge. Here we go, so nice, wide, gentle, sloping staircase up to the flybridge. And look at this for a space. Again, they've tried to keep it mostly with freestanding furniture. Got these very futuristic metal sun loungers, and even the tables that accompany them But lovely view over the stern. Again, they haven't blocked it off with a solid transom, they've kept everything open with just a guardrail halfway along it. It means you can enjoy a view from your sunbed right out over the stern. Big table dining area. Again, you can see even here what looks like freestanding furniture. It's certainly not built into the deck itself. Lovely 3-section table. That section there lifts out, so you can have that as 2 separate tables or one big table for dining. Plenty of space to get all your guests around there. Lovely big bar area over to starboard. Lift that up. Oh, it's mightily heavy, that moulding. You can see there is a grill under there. And lots of storage space. This looks like it's missing a button on it. Often happens at boat shows. It's a very early boat or something missing, or somebody manages to pinch a little piece of it. But big bar area here, that looks like an ice maker in there. And doubtless there'll be room for a fridge. That's probably what goes behind there. But, oh, lots of guests up here. That's all right. Just work our way around and we come forward to helm station. So there is a big outside helm station here too. Huge comfortable helm seats, flip up bolsters on those, and there's that very distinctive upright Ferretti helm, the wheel itself. Centre controls for those big engines, twin MTUs. We've got side power thrusters, we've got bow and stern thrusters by the looks of things. Humphrey automatic trim system. You can see that will automatically adjust if there's any lean or you need to push the bow down a bit. Going into a head sea, take care of that, it'll do it automatically, or you can take over and do it manually. Controls for the searchlight, the windlass, hard top lights, everything you need from here, and of course the 2 Simrad multifunction displays, so you can have access to all the boat systems. But very nice to be able to helm the boat from up here, and then a massive built-in sunpad area opposite to port. So you get some idea of the scale of that flybridge. Let's just make our way back downstairs. Now, sadly, because this is a fully crewed boat and they've kept some areas closed, we're not able to show you some of the little pieces, like, well, I say little pieces, but we can't show you the engine room or the crew spaces. I'm sorry about that. We know we'd always try and bring you that if we can, but sometimes at boat shows you just have to go with the flow and show you what... Oh, hang on, it looks like we might be able to access the engine room from down here. Oh, sadly, the crew are busy down there. They look like they're topping up some of the fluids. Understandably, they're not keen to have us down there while they're working on it. So if we can, we'll pop back later, but we might have to just go with the flow on this one. But I hope you've enjoyed seeing what we can show you of the new Ferretti 860. It is the very latest boat out of the Ferretti group. Impressive performance, very impressive accommodation, and if we possibly can, we'll bring you a sea trial. So there you have it. That is the new Ferretti 860 flybridge. Now, I've managed to have a quick word with one of the salesmen. He tells me that it retails at around about €6.5 million ex VAT. And in fact, we've got a rather good view of it. The neighbouring boat has moved away, so we can now see the full side view of that boat in all its glory. So I hope you've enjoyed this very quick tour. I'm sorry we couldn't get to show you some of the spaces, but you've got to go with the flow at the boat shows and get what you can. But thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one.